there have been some pockets of attack on your party,
Yeah.
and we've also seen videos of notable member of opposition threatening to burn members and supporters of your party because of the election. I would like to ask, what are you doing to secure the lives of members of your party and your supporters before and during the election, sir?
Well, I must say, this is the kind of rhetoric that we shouldn't have at all, not at this time of our political life. Uh, this is a democracy. I am only exercising my democratic right, the right to vote and the right to be voted for. That's all I'm trying to exercise. And everybody has a right to vote and be voted for. So I believe the government should really also understand that it is our right. We're not trying to do anything illegal. Unfortunately, we hear a lot of rhetoric, and sometimes they've even gone beyond rhetoric to actually uh, beating up our supporters and injuring our supporters. And of course, doing all kinds of things and doing violence to our supporters. This is not what we should see. Of course, the law enforcement agencies are there. Um, we have reported to the law enforcement agencies. We are hoping that the law enforcement agencies will take action. In colloquial Pukma, it has become a pattern to beat up our supporters. A lot of our supporters are out of the local government. They cannot even go back to the local government because they are so scared of going back. And of course, in other local governments, they don't the same. We have reported. That's all we can do. I intend to also engage the law enforcement even more to be able to bring those to those who committed those crimes to book, because I mean it's criminal to beat up people just like that, go to their houses and threaten them with guns, and then shoot people, and then cut people. I mean that's not really where we should be as a state at this time. We are hoping that the opposition will, of course, the government in power should really retrace their steps and do what is right and give peace a chance and give everybody the opportunity to exercise their constitutionally guaranteed rights.
You exude so much confidence in winning the forthcoming election. What gives you that confidence? What drives you, especially with the fact that you're going against a sitting governor who has everything at his disposal?
For me, the biggest factor, the people. I've gone around by Elsa and I've seen that the people want to vote for us. And I've also seen that I have a superior plan for Bielsa. I believe also that the agenda that we have for Bielsa is superior to what the present government has. And in fact, the present government does not even have any agenda, clearly. If you ask him what his agenda is, he doesn't know. He doesn't. I'm telling you. And you can see. I can see. Sometimes you watch him and you see the confusion in his face. I mean, he's not equipped for this job. I mean, even the last time, let's face it, he didn't win the election. It was he came through the back door to the government. And I remember the last time, 2019, it was not he that contested. It was Dixon, Governor Dixon, then outgoing governor, that contested the election with me. We didn't hear from Doediri throughout the whole electioneering time, the whole time for campaign. It was Dixon that was campaigning. It was not him. So he doesn't have it. I mean, and what you don't have, you can't give. So he doesn't have it, unfortunately. I mean, he has other things, I'm sure. I mean, but he doesn't have this one. So he must allow me to do what I have and what I can do, to give what I have. I have shown my better option. I've said, look, I can do more, I can do better. Bayesians will become wealthier under my administration, as they were when I was there. Because the other day, the civil servants came here and they actually showed me, and it was shocking to realize that Bayelsans that were earning um, more in 2011 during my time are earning much less. They are earning as much as 1 point something million naira less per annum. So Bayelsans are actually poorer after so many years. I expected that salaries should have improved by now, but salaries have actually become worse. So Bayelsans have incrementally become poorer, and if you follow this people, then this agenda, I mean this government and the PDP, you see that Bayelsans will continually and incrementally become poorer until we don't know where we will be. For example, so I've seen that things are rather getting worse since I left. I mean, the power situation, I'm sure you'll agree with me, the power situation is much worse now than when I was there. The water, access to potable water was more during my time than now. Even educational facilities. I mean, you don't just go building universities all over the place. Or you're building Africa University or University of Africa. You're building medical university. There are too many universities. Okay, it's a good idea. But the foundations, you cannot build houses on nothing. You must build the foundation. The primary school system is in a very, very sorry state. The secondary school system is in a very sorry state. Yeah, I agree, the universities are good, but we must ensure that the foundations are put in place before we graduate them, we move them to the universities. But it just shows that look, everybody just wants to put the higher institution of learning in his own territory. I understand the other day some people were protesting because I understand that the governor wants to move the Medical University to Sample. So people are protesting. So I don't understand. I mean, you don't have to. We don't have to take higher institutions or universities to our communities. All of us. If we say every governor that comes will build a university in his place, and then of course nothing will be left of the primary and secondary system, school system. So I think that our focus in my administration would be to ensure that we have a very solid foundation. We want to build several primary schools. We want to make sure that our secondary schools are functional so that we can get the right caliber of people to move into the universities.
Your Excellency, in terms of education, I know that in your first administration you prioritized education a lot because some students were taken abroad, sent abroad on scholarships, bursaries were paid as it went due, and the tuition fee of students was actually very low. Some of these things seem to be things of the past because they have not been, in place anymore. So I would like to ask, sir, are you going to bring back some of these policies?
Some of these policies are good policies. For example, I believe that travel is also an aspect of education. So if you send a Bayelsa outside for education or maybe on scholarship, you're educating him in two ways. He is getting the education and the travel itself, and the interaction with the people outside the country, and his experience is also another form of education. So he comes back equipped with two forms of education. He comes back with the formal education and of course the exposure as well, which is what we need in Bayelsa.